Hello and welcome to DICEBERG Ahead. You're listening to part 2 of the Jedi Trials. My name is Evan Batt, they, them, and I'll be your game master today. And joining me we have...
Derek Hickman, he, him. I will be playing Troke.
Isis, she, her. I'm playing Pilo.
Jaelyn, she, her. I'll be playing Mako.
Hunter Olson, he, him, playing Osiris.
Last, we left our Padawans, our Jedi Knights in training. They were entering an ancient temple belonging to Bin Galus. Partially. There's another Jedi there.
We don't care about him.
We don't care about them, no. As you enter the temple, three of you with your lightsaber blades ignited and a blaster drawn. Do you still have it drawn? You're dual wielding that shit?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I keep that thing strapped on me.
Attaboy. And then the fourth one sitting there content with the other three's light. Because there's plenty of illumination. And you also, can have flashlights.
Not as cool.
Fair enough. If I had a lightsaber, I'd whip that shit out all the
everything.
time. Yeah.
I would cut off my own arm.
You would.
So you enter this temple, being lit by three different colors. You've got a nice, good color array. You can see.
Makes a nice brown painting.
You enter this temple. It's halls carved ornately, depicting several scenes of a bunch of shit. You make you roll to decipher anything about them. Do you want to roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. You want to roll?
I also want to roll, yeah.
Roll that shit.
And I'll, graze my fingers along the sides, too,
Okay.
to get more
Fucking-
connection.
What skill are we going to investigate?
You can do investigate, you can do lore.
Well, they're both equal, so that's a 1.
I'm going to go with lore, and that's a 5.
Overachiever.
Yeah, this isn't about guns, so you're not specialized.
I'm not special, I know.
Are you trying to do a psychometry, or are you trying to do...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's hard not to do a psychometry.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
tempting.
Mm-hmm. It's my favorite. I love Quinlan Voss. He is one of my favorite. Dark Disciple is a great book. It's a romance. It's about Quinlan Voss and Saj Ventress.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I own
Kinky.
it if anyone wants to borrow it. Anyways, so yeah, you touch these walls, and as you graze your fingers along, you're getting flashes of visions of battles fought, of blood shed. You narrow in and you pull back a lot of that. Actually, yeah, roll me a will on top of your lore. You're gonna get stuff no matter what, but I wanna.
5.
There's a lot of information. You're getting a little bit overwhelmed by all this, because it's not just what's happened here, it's also what it's depicting. You're getting a lot of cross-contamination, and you're able to focus and zero in on a tall figure in a cloak walking through the hall, speaking with someone else in a lighter cloak, that a bit shorter, with long hair coming out, and they're talking with each other. It's a little hard to make. You can't make out what they're saying, but you're seeing them, and one of them draws a lightsaber and strikes the other, and that knocks you out of it for a second. You pull back. And fuck. You pull out of your vision. You're like, damn. How do you feel about that?
She turns off her lightsaber as she's in the moment, so she doesn't accidentally hit anything, and is just surrounded by what I assume is more darkness since we're away
as
from
they
the
walk
doors.
forward,
Yeah. And snap back to it. I'm like, okay. Look back around and try to catch back up with the group. Turn on the lightsaber and try to get to the front of the group to take a little bit of charge and
All right.
spin around, so I'm walking backwards,
Damn.
looking at them.
Damn.
Don't trip again.
Now that's confidence.
Yes. Trips and falls.
Trips kills 3 of us.
Flails around, beheads everybody.
Master Sai is just like,
Master Sai is sighing.
Master Sai feels the disturbance in the force.
that meme from Community where Troy comes in holding the pizza and everything's on fire.
So you sort of shoulder
Yeah.
your way forward as you are all entering this room, and you turn around and you're looking at them. Boss bitch, love it.
Yep.
I'm like waiting for you to say something, but is this just the power move?
No, I turn around and look, and if nothing's happened, I'll speak. I'll be like, all right, so usually I like to go at this on my own, but seeing how there's only us here for now, I look around.
You hear some pebbles like fall in the distance.
I say we come together with our combined skills to pass together.
I suppose that's amenable.
What exactly are we doing? Because so far we're exploring, and that's great.
Keep doing that.
Cool.
Yes, I saw, back there on the murals, I saw some visions of the history of this place. It doesn't have the most peaceful history all the time, and some strange figures, but I'll get to that later, but...
Did you see guns?
No.
Fine.
She eyes your gun skeptically, and rolls her eyes a little bit.
Yeah, that's a fucking weird thing for a Jedi to have. Especially a Padawan.
Mm-hmm.
Osiris doesn't. It's pretty normal. He kind of wishes he's like,
He'd
you can
pack
do
one.
that?
It's like, what, you could pack heat?
I thought these guys were like above
That's
that whole
allowed?
thing. I would have totally been strapped if I knew.
Just gets a shotgun.
Fucking slug thrower.
Have we, met before this mission?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay.
You're all being raised at the same temple training.
Okay, so we all have a general idea of strength, weaknesses.
Yeah,
Got
yeah.
it.
You've got each other's vibes a little bit. Master Sai has attempted to work with Troke as much as he's willing. Kind of everyone has met Osiris. He's been there a while, so you would have known him growing up, and then as well as
upperclassmen.
I feel like Pilo maybe came in more recently. Spent a lot of time training somewhere else than came here.
It seems on brand for Pilo to have been kicked from one temple to another.
Actually, Troke would have arrived very recently to this temple for training. The temple that you guys are at, which I'm just going to say is on Coruscant.
Okay.
Why the fuck not?
Yeah. It is the Jedi Temple.
That's why I have a blaster, because of Coruscant.
Fucking Coruscant. Yeah, man.
You know what? Fair enough.
You go 3 layers down, you're going to get shot. You're going to get shot.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah. All these fucking Gungans running around, and I couldn't think of any other species, and that was the worst one to pick.
It was.
You enter this large room, which is circular with a domed ceiling, and on the far left and far right sides of the circular room are 2 statues depicting the same figures, but much smaller, more life-size to scale.
These ones less eroded because they've been inside.
Mm-hmm.
Is it one on each side or both of them
One on each side.
Okay. I'll turn towards the Zabrak and be like, I believe this to be Master Bin Galus. I've researched him a couple times. He's specialized in illusions, and that may be what our path lies ahead if we choose to go there, but I have no clue, and I look the other figure up and down who this one is, and could be a mystery.
I walk up to the other figure and I'm kind of trying to match his pose.
It's a sort of a tall for a more feminine human figure with long hair coming out. Her robe is up over her head, and her face is kind of obscured, but there's hair coming down.
Does it seem to match the 2 people I saw in my vision with the cloaks?
Yes.
And which one stabbed which?
Ben Galus struck her down.
Okay. And was that in
to be left alive.
And was that in this area or an unfamiliar area in the
That was where
temple?
you were standing.
Okay. I'll look around for any remnants,
Okay.
I guess.
Yeah. How are you investigating or are you sensing? Are you using your tactile physical senses or are you using the Force?
I'll use just regular perception, looking around.
Roll me an investigate.
Oh, that's a -1.
Yeah, you don't really notice anything. There's a lot of dust and a little bit of rubble all around. There's no like noticeable giant like slash marks in the wall and blood splatter.
Been too long.
What does it smell like in here?
It's dusty. There's not much dampness. It's pretty dry.
Okay.
So we've got the 2 statues, larger room. Is it circular?
It's circular,
Because
yes.
of the dome ceiling.
And are like those the only 2 like paths out of here?
So those statues are just sitting along the
Oh,
walls.
they're
and
sitting.
And then there's like... There's 4 hallways branching out from this room, 2 on either side of the room.
Let's split up, gang, and look for more clues.
I mean, Mako will point that out. 4 hallways, 4 of us.
Didn't we want to stick together, though?
Master Sai did mention somewhat individualized trials.
We are stronger together than we would be apart, though.
Osiris is weighing whether or not y'all would weigh him down in any kind of situation.
Hear me out. 4 sabers and a blaster.
That's pretty good odds.
Do we have any sort of like communication devices between us?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna like pull that out and I'll be like, let me test this. I'll walk to the other side of the room and like, testing.
Works just fine.
And
Pager
it
goes off.
receives it.
What if we split into groups of 2? Two of us go down one path, 2 of us go down the other. We reconvene, and
Call out if anything happens.
if we find nothing on either path, we return and do the third together.
There's
What?
4.
What about the
A
4th?
There's 2 on either side.
I was assuming the 4th one's where we came from.
No, sorry. You walk in, circular room,
2 pillars.
2,
and
yeah,
then
a door on either side of those. So yeah, that's what the room looks like. And yeah, there's carvings and art and shit all over the walls and ceilings and...
I don't think it's a bad idea to go into pairs and explore one side of the room first and then go to the other.
Pila's gonna take a minute and stand in front of each of the entrances.
Mm-hmm.
Do any of them either smell fresh or feel a breeze?
Mm-mm. No, it's all stagnant, stale, dusty.
Tasty.
We'll start with the 2 on the right.
Zabrak
That
side.
works. Yes. I mean, it is more possibly predictable, as I said, if these are trials, and looking back up at the statue, and Master Galus was specialized in illusions, we can at least prepare ourselves for something.
Fracking illusions.
Can you shoot an illusion?
No.
Ah,
You could think that you've shot an illusion.
I will think that.
I suggest we split up in a fashion that we have 1 combat professional and 1 otherwise each.
Right.
We only have 1 combat professional.
Well, you have a gun.
Mako, like, props herself up, like, puffs her chest out, like, that's obviously.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're such a combat specialist.
Yes.
Why don't you go with Troke then?
All right.
Feels kind of racist.
I didn't even think about that.
All right, segregation's in session.
Get out of here, crown heads!
Oh, no. All right, let's
Oh shit,
go.
they're still here.
Just staring at you from the door.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, so is that how we're splitting up Zabrak's others?
Sure.
Seems like it.
Awesome. We're going to
Okay.
follow the others first. The Ikani and Togruta.
Yes.
What color are you, by the way? Togruta come in a variety.
I imagined them orange.
Orange? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Would it be helpful if we specified which specific path we're taking?
Dibs on left.
There you go.
Okay, we're going to the leftmost of the right side of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Once we start going down the hallway, I imagine it is still dark. I will also pull out my lightsaber.
Awesome. And describe your lightsaber to us. You described the hilt. What color is the blade?
The blade is a very, very pale blue.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so you guys walk down, and you follow this path. It curves a little bit, and then there's a stairwell that goes downwards.
Shit.
into
I
the
was hoping it goes up.
heart of the mountain.
Is there a reason for that?
Up is better.
Why?
Just is.
Very well.
Thank Varric. And he starts going downstairs.
Okay. You wander down these steps. They go on for quite a while, and they start. It's a very wide, slow, arcing, circular staircase. You think you descend a total of 50 feet into the mountain until you come to a room that's small and boxy and has something that you haven't seen in this building yet, a metal grate over a door.
That feels out of place.
So it look like kind of an elevator-esque sitch?
No, more like
Sorry, my brain went to that
yeah,
elevator.
No, that makes sense. No, more like sort of cell doors. There's a door beyond it, but then this is like attached to it, like it's reinforcing it.
Okay. It's set into the wall.
And there's engravings on either side, and then just a big ass fucking lever on next to the door.
He's like looking at the lever and looking at the door and looking at the lever and like he's like waiting for someone to tell him not to, basically.
He's like, I'm pretty sure this opens that, but that might be because I'm some kind of stupid ass.
I don't think you're incorrect.
I'm gonna pull the lever.
Let's read the engravings first.
All right.
He's like squinting at the by lightsaber light.
Why don't you just hold the light still?
All right.
I take a look at the engraving.
Roll me a lore.
Well, I rolled a 1, plus, if that's a 1, 2.
Awesome. Yeah, you are looking at them, and it's definitely... This is less like big scenes like what it was in the Grand Hall and the hallway into the entrance that you went through before. This is more, and yeah, it seems to be describing little bits that you can make out are something about like containment.
Pull the lever.
All right. Pull the lever.
And now we're going to go back to the Zabrax.
Woo.
You hear?
I'm sure it's fine.
Yep, I open the door ready to go and just march on inside.
And you're doing the other door next to the
Yep.
Bin Galus. Cool.
I follow.
Awesome. So yeah, you go in, and it's you walk for maybe like 30 seconds. It's a pretty short. There's some engravings on the walls, and then it opens into another large, like long. I want to say like dining hall, like in Viking buildings, kind of
Okay.
that style.
Like a long haul
Long
type
haul?
deal.
Yeah. So it's big, wide, tall. You can see indented into the walls shelving, and there's weapons sitting on these shelves. They line both walls all the way down to the end where there's another doorway that continues on.
Okay.
And the room itself is pretty barren. Off in the corner, there's like some shapes.
Some
Okay.
shapes.
Some shapes.
Triangle.
It's
Is that a
Pentagram.
rhombus?
It's a pile of, I mean, I can just tell you, it's a pile of like old dummies, practice dummies and
Okay.
stuff that they were mostly wooden, so they've degraded.
I'm gonna go investigate the weapons.
Alrighty.
Excitedly.
Yeah, roll me a lore weapons.
Oh, baby.
I'll closely follow behind, keeping my lightsaber up on vigilant watch, and slowly make my way, like, away, but keeping within, like, a dash distance. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
That would be a 5.
5. Awesome. So yeah, there's a lot of old weapons here. You see a lot of training, like pole arms and training. They're not sabers, but like the swords that you would use as a youngling, and as well as did I say pole arms? There's pole arms. You're going through and you find. So you think that this room was it's a training room. This is a dojo. You think that they were training based off of what's around both younglings and knights would be training here, practicing whatever. There's nothing too... It's very familiar to what you're used to in any other temple that you'd go to. I'm going to say, yeah, as you go through, you do find a lightsaber hilt.
Ooh.
It's made of a dark... Yeah, it's just black metal with silver engravings in it.
I'll pick it up and try to turn it on.
It ignites a nice, solid, mid-tone blue color.
Interesting. It's a lightsaber that I found here. Guess I'll have that for later. I turn it off and show it.
Does it look familiar from what I've seen? Okay.
I'm such a great Jim. Nah.
Nah.
This looks like it's some sort of training room. Pretty standard.
Well, shall we move forward?
I suppose. Lead the way.
Yep.
Alrighty, yeah, you guys go down the hall and back with Pilo and Osiris. You pull the lever and you hear a clicking noise and a little bit of a whirring, and 2 slats on either side of the room drop and fucking arrows shoot out at you. Yeah, no, so I'm going to need you both to roll a defend check.
Can I try to freeze him?
Yeah,
Hey.
you can do that. What did Osiris get?
I got 4.
4? Awesome. You halt one side of them. What do you get?
I'm going to wash. I'm going to use a fate point to
Okay.
add 2.
Add 2. Fantastic. You turn, one of them deflects across your back, and another one sort of scratches your front. You get like a little scratches, but they're superficial. And then nothing happens.
Well,
We can't. The grates still aren't moving or
Yeah,
anything.
the door's closed.
put the lever back up. I think we might have to do this the old-fashioned way.
You put the lever
Ignite
back
the
up.
lightsabers.
More.
No, but the slats do close, and you hear some more like whirring. You think it just reset.
Cool. So don't pull the lever again.
Carve it out.
Probably, yeah. I'll go top. You go bottom.
Yep.
Carving a circle.
yeah.
That's going to take them a little bit, so we're going to go back to...
We are classic TTRPGing, being stuck by a door.
The worst enemy in the world. A door.
Keep leading on our side, going to the other door,
Fantastic.
opening it.
Yeah, you go through.
Just keep
and
charging through.
there are with the main room and these, there's no doors, it's just doorways. You walk through and you're going, and now there are doors. They seem to be, these ones are made of wood, so some of them have fallen off, and it looks like just sort of dorms, barracks, places where people are sleeping. This is their quarters. That's the word, quarters. As you're going down this hallway.
Seem we picked the lively, or as lively as this place can be, area.
Yeah, there's not much down here, it looks like. Are there any doors on like the far end, or is it just these?
So it goes on for a little while, and there's branch, and you can see one way is a dead end with just more dorms, the other is dead end. But then forward is a door, stone, like the one that you came through at the entrance, with a the symbol of the Jedi star carved into it.
Any known means of like a lever or no?
Reach out with the force and see if it reacts at all.
Yeah, it's you reach out and roll me. Will.
Okay. Yeesh. That's gonna be a wash. So we're gonna pay the tax. Get a +2.
+2, so 2.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, you reach out and you feel it, and it lifts a little bit, but it feels like this one's resisting you. Like, it's not just the door itself, but like there's something stopping you from opening it.
Do you want to give this a go? I can't quite grasp it.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Five.
Damn.
Jeez.
Shit.
Show off.
Yeah, okay. You go and you reach through and you start pulling on the door, and you feel that same resistance. And you're like, wait, there's something. It's not just the door itself. There's like a lock. So you reach up with the force, and you feel effectively just a lever above it, stopping it. And you turn that, and then you lift the door up until it comes, and that lever springs back and stops the door up
From
above.
closing again.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Onward again.
By your lead.
And I will go and I will just keep looking, thinking to myself, okay, where's the test? When is it gonna start? Is this the test? And she's just constantly running these questions through her head.
You enter this room, and it looks like it's quarters again, but it's a lot more. It's furnished. There's a lot of like trinkets hung up on the walls, some that have fallen onto the floor. There's a desk with all sorts of shit on top of it, flimsy, that has been faded.
Like this is one person's room?
Like this is one person's room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe this was their trainer's room?
Yeah, seems to be more... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for here?
Embellished?
Yeah, embellished than the others. I'll go to the desk and, like, put my hands on it, see if I can sense any, like, history of repeated work here.
Yeah. Yeah, roll me a sense. Use your psychometry.
4.
4. Alrighty. Yeah, so you put your hands on this desk and you run your fingers along, and you feel you start by feeling like many times that like hands and wrists have been touched, rubbed against this desk, and the amount of times that someone was writing, and then it like starts zooming out, and you're seeing more images of Master Bin Galus working at this desk and getting up, and it's like a sped up vision of someone like working.
Time lapse.
Yeah, time lapse. Thank you. Time lapse of him working at this desk, and then like going and like laying in bed, sleeping, getting up, looking at different trinkets, doing some like basic lightsaber forms, and then like leaving, coming in, pulling apart different drawers, looking through things, and just this over and over again until one day he comes in and like brushes everything off of his desk, is frantically looking around for something, is pulling open drawers, flips over the mattress and grabs something, and then rushes out.
Looks like we found where Ben Galus was staying.
Interesting.
In his last moments, he was more frantic than the other times. He was searching for something over by his bed, and I'll walk on over there.
Did he find it?
It seems like, and then he was out in a rush.
You do notice that the desk has stuff on it again. It wasn't.
Okay. Is the bed, like, made? I'll lift it up and see if there's anything.
And underneath of the bed, you see a holocron. And now we're going to cut back to the other two.
It's full of spiders.
Ah! No.
Dead spider.
Oh, do you push it? Force push it?
I give it a little pulse outward.
And it goes with a loud crash. You hear a loud crash below you. And immediately, the two of you are hit with a warm rush of wind.
Ugh. It got in my mouth.
Yeah, it's sour.
Radical.
This place keeps getting more pleasant by the second.
This air doesn't seem to react to our sabers, does it?
No, it's not methane.
Cool. Just making sure.
You hear a deep explosion.
The floor falls out from below you. Oh, man.
I'm gonna pull out a glow stick.
Okay.
Just a straight glow stick.
Yeah.
And I think I'm just gonna throw it into the room.
throw your lightsaber.
Or if we have like a fancy sci-fi like floating orb of light or whatever.
So yeah, you can.
Yeah, click it, shake it around, and then it just sort of anti-grav drifts.
Yeah, it's floating through, and it's illuminating this room. It's a statue hall. There's all kinds of figures along the walls, and yeah, so there's figures lining the walls. Their hands are together, holding their like sabers, unignited, and their hoods are drawn pretty far over their faces. All of them are pretty obscured, and this goes on for a little while, and then you see that there's some like empty alcoves behind where it. Some empty alcoves at the end of the room, and then at the far end of the room is what looks like a blown apart. The wall's been blown down.
I guess I'm looking, after the lever happened, I'm looking for like tripwires, I'm looking for like tiles in the floor that look like they're gonna sink in when we step on them and stuff like that.
Awesome, yeah. Roll me an investigate.
Can I help?
Yeah.
Can I do sense?
Yeah. It's gonna give you a slightly different result.
Cool.
2.
You reach out with the force, and you sort of just you try finding hollow spots beneath the floor, behind the walls, and you do. Behind every single one of these statues is a hollow alcove. You don't think that there's like traps in there. You can actually sense bodies, people.
A tomb.
A tomb.
I think this is part mausoleum.
For Jedi Knights?
I can only
Or-
assume. These seem like statues of saints. People at least higher ranking or well loved by the Order. Or the Order that was here anyway.
But not loved enough to be remembered?
They have statues.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, you don't notice any traps.
Cool. Alright. Yeah, full on walk into the room towards the blasted end.
Awesome. Pilo, is there anything you want to...
Pilo wants to do like a hard investigation check.
Okay.
I think she's looking at these statues, and she's looking, like, counting, seeing like what the numbers are looking like here. Do the statues near the end that they entered match the same kind of style as the ones that near the farther end as we go? Are they old, or are they new, or is this all built at the same time?
Gotcha. Yeah. Go ahead and do that. However, I'm going to compel you. Your OCD. Your robes were torn a little bit from that trap. So it's kind of it's disrupting you, it's bothering you. You're going to have a -2 to this roll.
Okay.
And you get a fate point.
For
Huzzah.
accepting.
Flat 1.
Flat 1. Yeah, you can... It seems that they're all made in the same style. The ones towards the front of the room seem a bit older than the ones towards the back.
So we're working towards the newer area of this temple, it would seem. Expansion, maybe?
Perhaps.
Yeah. And you do see that there's like about a dozen more empty alcoves.
Yeah, expansion. They had planned for more bodies yet to fill these alcoves with statues.
I wonder why it was left behind. And why this area was so well guarded.
I assume we don't really have, since this temple was just found, we don't have too much info on how it was lost. That's probably partially why we're here.
No, yeah, you don't. There's pretty much nothing. This is just, there's no records of this. Yeah. Yeah.
Either this place was built undocumented, essentially, or they didn't want it known, perhaps.
Maybe.
As you're standing here talking, you start to smell smoke. And you turn and you see slowly floating out of the cracked, blown apart wall is some smoke. Smoke is billowing out. Not billowing. Yeah, it's slow. It's gradual. Wisps and strands. But the wall itself, as the light orb starts going further and further down the hall, it just sort of stops against it. It's too dense to see through.
What color is it?
It's smoke, like fire smoke, sort of dark
Gray,
gray. Yeah.
Something's burning.
In the stone temple.
Bodies?
See if I can approach the smoke. Does the smoke itself feel hot?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I can like force push it away.
You you can.
I'll try.
That's definitely something I've seen in several Star Wars shows where they push away smoke or fog.
I'm gonna airbend real quick.
Yeah.
I'm a +2 to overcome an obstacle with telekinesis. I'm trying to get past the smoke screen.
Yeah.
That's 6.
6. Damn.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so you go and you use the force and you push this smoke back into the room where it's coming out of, and you're able to clear enough out and see far enough into the room to see a glowing red statue. And that's where we're going to leave this week's episode at. Thanks for listening. The background music for today's episode is provided by mynoise.net. For more DICEBERG Ahead content, check out the links in the show notes or go to dicebergahead.com. If you want to get some kick-ass dice, head over to crystalmaggie.com where you can enter code DICE, BERG_ahead in all caps at checkout to get 10% off. And may the force be with you.